Greetings, students and friends. Today we'll be discussing a topic that is very important in the life of a student: time management in physics examination. Time management in the physics examination. Your ability to manage your time properly during an examination is what makes you a smart student. First, here you need to know the nature, the format of the examination. What do you mean by format? How many questions that are involved, the time allocated during such an examination. Is it multiple choice questions? Is it not multiple choice questions? By the time you know the format, the number of questions involved you are supposed to attempt, and the time, it becomes easier for you to manage your time properly. One thing a student should do immediately you come into the exam, you should be calm. Take the few minutes, read through the questions, the instructions. It is the instruction that will tell you how many questions you are supposed to answer, attempt. So if you do that, you now know the format of the exams. You understand the format of the exam, and then you'll be able to manage your time properly. Number two, prioritize your questions. What do you mean by this? Those questions that you are so confident, that you are so sure, you start with them first. By the time you are done with those questions, you can go to the other ones that you are not so sure, that maybe you have skeletal information on how to attempt them. So if you do this, it will go a long way in helping you to manage your time properly. Number three is to allocate time per question. If you distribute your time according to the questions you are supposed to attempt during this examination, it will help you. And by the time you exceed that time on a particular question, it will bother you. It will give you a signal. No, I have spent so much time here. I'm not supposed to spend so much time on this particular question. For example, if maybe it's a 2 hours exam, the 2 hours, if you convert it to minutes, that's about 120 minutes. And maybe it's a 2-unit course, 5 questions to attempt 3. You cannot distribute all your time on the 3 questions, because if you have 120 minutes, I say, okay, I have to attempt 3 questions, I'll distribute equally. That is 40 minutes. It's never done that way. First of all, when you come into the exam, you need to take some time. You need to take some time, maybe 5 minutes. You read through the question, you scan through the questions, the instructions, and that is what will inform your decision. on which question you will answer. Maybe you have taken 5 minutes out of 120 minutes. You are left with 115. You should also keep some time, take out some time to check your work after the examination. Maybe take another 15 minutes. So 20 minutes out of the time, you are left with 100 minutes. So if you want to distribute this time out of the 3 questions, maybe you say 2 of the questions take 30 minutes, the other one 40 minutes. Maybe the ones that you are not so sure will take you a longer time, but the ones that you are sure will take you a shorter time. This will help you to manage your time properly. And by the time you set specific amount of time on each question, it will help you to achieve the purpose of the exam. Number 4, use the first few minutes wisely. Number 4, use the first few minutes wisely. You'll spend the first few minutes reading out the instruction, scanning through the question. That will also help. Number 5, don't spend too long a time on a particular question. If you have allocated time to each question, by the time you exceed that time or the number of minutes or seconds, you tell yourself that I'm not supposed to be here again. Number 6, show your work. Physics, like I always tell students, it's not about the answer. It's about your working. Sometimes you may not even be sure of the answer, but your steps, the steps you have taken to solve those problems will help in for you to gain more marks in that particular question. So show your working step by steps, and that will help. Number 7, check your units. Physics is about units. By the time you solve a problem and the unit is wrongly attached, you miss some marks. Number 8, leave time for review. I've mentioned this before. Out of the time allocated, the first few minutes, you read through the instruction, through the question, and you also take out some time for review. After your exam, what do you mean by review is after the exam, you read through. Sometimes it could be minor errors, mistakes. You'll be able to correct them. Sometimes the units are not properly attached. Maybe you are in a haste. You can also correct yourself. Number 9, practice under timed condition. You know, when you are preparing for an examination, you need to also practice. Ask yourself some questions. Set an exam for yourself. That's what I mean. And give yourself time. I'm supposed to solve this within this so time. And that is what a good teacher or a good lecturer would do. Before you give your student, you examine your students, you are supposed to solve this or those questions within a particular time. You're supposed to time yourself, solve those questions. If you're able to solve those questions within that particular time you have given the student, then you are a good teacher or a good lecturer. So the same thing with students. By the time you are practicing on your own, time yourself under that condition. It will help you to be smart in an exam. Number 9, stay calm and focused. Do not panic in an exam. Many students, what makes them not to be calm is because they didn't prepare for the exams. By the time you come in, some of the students will be looking for where to sit. Maybe sit close to a friend so that they can copy. It makes you so unstable because you didn't prepare for the exam. But if you prepare for the exam, you come in, you sit anywhere they keep your position. Anywhere there you are positioned in that particular venue, you should be comfortable. So, as a student, stay calm and be focused. Then the last one, number 10, ensure that you have all the materials needed for the exams. Students will always be students. Most of the examination, you see students looking for pen. My pen is not writing. As a smart student, you're not supposed to come into the examination hall with one pen. You should have two. In case this one does not perform, you pick up the other one. Some students come into the exam, it's a calculation course, physics. You don't have calculator. That time you are using to take permission from the invigilator to collect calculator from another student. You're not managing your time properly. And by the time you collect this, maybe you are not yet done with it. The person is also in need of it. It becomes a problem. And you become so confused in the exams. So all the materials needed should be intact. Being it ruler, being it pencil, being it pen, anything that you think that is necessary for that exam, you need to come with it. That will help you to manage your time properly. So to recap, number 1, know the format of the exam. That is understanding how many questions are involved and the time allocated for that examination. Number 2, give priority to the questions. Number 3, allocate time per questions. Number 4, use the first few minutes wisely. That's what we mean by reading through the instructions and scanning through the question. Number 5, don't spend too long a time on a particular question. Number 6, show your work. 7, check units. Number 8, leave time for review. Leave time for review. Number 9, practice under timed condition. And number 10, ensure that all your material needed are intact during the examination. Stay calm in an exam. Manage your time properly. Thank you.